I'm coming home from work, right? It's late. I think it was like a 12 to 8 shift, which suck.
No, all 8-hour shifts fucking suck, especially if you're working in hospo.
And it's fucking
Or
bus
like
replacements on the Frankston line. Anyway, that's kind of irrelevant to the story. The point is, I get to Moorabbin Station, and actually, I'm on the bus replacement. That's why it was relevant. This guy fucking comes up to me on the bus, looks homeless, and he asks me for money for a coffee, and I'm like, oh yeah, nah, sorry mate, I don't have any coins.
Which is true because you generally don't. We've heard a lot of stories.
And then I got off the bus and I felt bad that I didn't buy him a coffee because I was like, I should buy him a coffee.
Which you don't have to.
Yeah. But I was like, well, it's like $1 from 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
So like, anyway, so I was like, oh, I might just like go to the 7-Eleven with him and buy him a coffee. Anyway, I realized he was like going into the train station, so I didn't bother. And so he was going down to the same platform as me. So I go down to the platform and he comes up and he offers me a cigarette. And I'm like, yeah, well, I didn't give him a coffee. I may as well just like sit and have a smoke with this guy. It's the least I can do.
I would have thought it would be bad to take a cigarette and not give the poor dude a coffee.
Well, it seemed like he wanted me to have a cigarette with him.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess if he's offering, it's not the normal thing to do. You don't offer someone a cigarette, I guess.
Yeah, and he offered me a cigarette. He had no filters. So and I didn't want to be rude, so I smoked it anyway. Not enjoyable. Also, way worse for you than smoking a cigarette already is.
Because a filter does what its name would imply, which is filters out like, the shit.
It filters out a lot of the bad stuff, but a lot of it still gets through. But if there's no filter, it's all getting through. It's all getting through.
You fucking idiot.
It also sort of fucking just hurts.
I'm not surprised.
It's like you're just like pouring tar into your lungs because you are.
Because it's not like cigarettes are good for you.
I've only done that like a few times ever.
It's probably a few times more than you ever should have.
Yeah, anyway, look, that's not the point. Didn't want to be rude. It was the least I could do.
I guess.
So we're talking. It's a pretty bland conversation. I'm not going to lie. We didn't have much we could relate on. But he ended up just straight up asking me. He was like, oh, my place to stay has fallen through tonight.
No.
Can I come and stay at your place?
And at this point, you've rejected a coffee and you've taken a ciggy. You flog.
So I was just like sitting there and I sat there in silence for, I'm no kidding, like a minute. I just sat there and said nothing. And then I was like, yeah, all right.
No. No.
I just couldn't think of a good enough reason to say no.
No, you could just say like, I don't have the space.
Yeah.
You don't have the space. Was this when you were living in Ormond?
Yes.
Where the fuck did the dude sleep?
Well, we'll get to that. But I just felt like...
Oh, my Lord.
I couldn't say no because I felt like an asshole.
Yes, it would have been an asshole thing to do, but you don't owe someone.
I know, but look, the point is I said yes. I wanted to be nice.
Oh, man, that's a bit too nice.
And so I agree. Anyway, so we got on the train together. And he was like, oh, thank you so much. He gave me a bunch of caramel.
Like
just little caramel lollies.
What, as a reward?
I guess it's like payment.
Why would you take...
That's one night's rent.
No. You're letting a stranger into your house.
Yeah.
You're accepting food from a stranger.
He wanted to offer me something in
They
return.
could have been fucking laced, you idiot.
Well, look, I just...
Okay, no, but if you look in hindsight, and obviously you're still here, think about the opportunity.
He was eating them too, so I felt like they would be safe.
He could have had laced ones and not laced ones. This could be his plan.
You really think he would like... No, they were all in the same fucking pocket. You wouldn't know which ones were laced and which ones weren't.
Oh, mate, you are an idiot. I don't know how.
Look, to be fair, I ate one of them and I didn't eat any other ones.
Okay, cannot believe you did this.
Also, they were fucking wrapped. Like, the effort he would have had to go to.
I don't know well, obviously he didn't lace you, but
No, he didn't.
Which is
and that's
good.
the thing. I wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt.
mate, fucking the dude has already given you a cigarette without a filter, and you want to give him the benefit of a doubt of a caramel.
Fair. So then we get to Ormond, and we're just walking past this random restaurant. He's like, "Oh, you want a can of Coke?"
Was he going to buy you a can of Coke?
Yeah, I guess he wanted to like a bit more rent. Caramels and Coke. So he goes into this restaurant, buys 2 cans of Coke, and he gives me a can of Coke. And he's like, "Oh, do you like Coke?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
Oh, no.
I'm like, "Yeah, it's not bad." And that was that. So then, yeah, no, we get back to mine, and at this point, I'm like, "Fuck." Well, I guess it would be like awkward because I was tired as fuck. I was like, it'd be awkward to just go to bed straight away. Like, I guess I kind of have to, like, stay up and chat with him. So
No, you don't owe the homeless man.
No, I definitely didn't, but this is how I was thinking.
Oh, no.
So anyway, I stayed up and talked with him for a bit. He kept offering me more cigarettes. I had filters, so I kept smoking cigarettes with filters.
Well, that's good. At least you fucking weren't ruining your lungs as much this time.
And yeah, pretty much, I told him, I was like, "Oh, sorry, man, I'm really tired. I'm going to get to bed." And then...
Does he go to sleep with you? No, like, does he go to sleep at the same time?
Oh, yeah, I invited him to sleep in my bed. No, that's a bit too far
That's
even
not what
for
I meant.
me,
I meant,
Zach.
does he go to sleep at the same time or does he stay up?
No, he told me that he probably wouldn't be... He was like, "I'll probably get to sleep around 3.
What the fuck?
So I go to bed, and I didn't actually want to go to sleep. I just wanted to be alone and
I get
fucking
that.
watch YouTube. So I connected my AirPods to the TV and started watching YouTube, and he kept coming back to my room to like ask me, like offer me cigarettes.
Oh my God.
Like, I had made it clear that I wanted to like get rest, and he just kept coming back to the door.
Hypothetical, this is why you don't invite strangers to your house.
And then, so eventually I'm like, "Oh, fuck it. Maybe if I get up and have another smoke, he won't bother me anymore."
Oh, you idiot.
So I went out, I had another smoke, and then I was like, "Okay, man, I'm going to sleep now." And so I go into my room, and a little while passes, and he comes to my door, and he wasn't asking me to come out of the room. He was like, "Oh, do you have any food?"
Oh no.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, I think there's some noodles or something."
Oh no.
I think there's some noodles or something in the kitchen. And he's like, "Oh yeah, noodles, sick." And then he goes to the kitchen, and I just hear him rummaging. Like, I kid you not, this guy made so much fucking noise. Just like looking through my kitchen. And I didn't have much food.
Did he take anything?
Oh, no, he was like rummaging for ages, like fucking looking through it. He comes back into my room and he's like, "Oh, can I cook some chips?"
Oh my God.
And I have a stockpile of chips, so I didn't really care. I was like, "Yeah, sure."
Oh God.
So then I hear him fucking rummaging even more. He fucking cooked chips more loudly than I've ever heard anyone cook shit. It was like, I heard him like frying them on the stove, but then he'd go off somewhere else and he'd just be stumbling around. At one point, I think he fell over. And then he finishes cooking the chips and he comes back to my room and he's like, "Do you want some chips?" And I already told him I was going to sleep. I'm like, "Nah, man, I'm all good." And then he came back to my room and asked if I wanted chips like 5 more times at least.
Oh no.
And I was getting pretty pissed off, but honestly, I should have probably just taken some chips.
I guess that every time you interact with him,
Yeah,
it
it's
gives
sort
you
of
more reason to
yeah.
interact the next time. Yeah.
But essentially, he asked me to come for another smoke after I kept denying his offers of chips. And I was like, okay.
You did not have another.
I went out and had another smoke with him.
God.
But then, you're not going to expect what happens next.
What happens next?
Right, so first off, I walk out into the lounge room and I realized why all the fucking rummaging around and behaving. He cleaned my whole lounge room.
Holy shit. And your fucking lounge room is disgusting at the best of times.
Oh, that's a bit.
It's not disgusting, but it's a bit messy.
That's a bit rude. I mean, usually I clean it when people are coming over, but I hadn't had people over in so long, and I stopped using my lounge room because I moved all my like TV and shit into my bedroom.
Yeah, you did tell me about that.
Made my bedroom into a fort. Pretty cool.
That's not that cool.
It is pretty cool.
It's cool when you're 12.
It's not. Forts are way cooler when you're an adult because, like, I don't know.
Nah, when I'm an adult, I kind of just can't be fucked.
I feel like it's effort to set the fort up, but once you got that fort, holy shit, you'll never go back. Except I did.
Oh wow, I'm not surprised.
Anyway, so he cleaned my whole lounge room.
That's nice.
Yeah, it was very nice. I thanked him for that, and then he offered me chips again, and so we went out for a smoke, and I think he got offended that I didn't want the chips.
Oh no.
So you're not going to, like, what would you expect a homeless person to do, like, if they were, like, offended that they'd cooked you food and you didn't want it?
I just expect them to sulk.
Well, he really, no, he didn't. He just left.
So he didn't stay?
No, he didn't stay the night. He was like, he didn't specifically say it was about the chips, but he just, when we were out having that smoke, he just said, "Oh, I'm going to leave now. I don't want to bother you." And then he just packed up his shit and fucking left.
That does sound like he was offended.
Yeah.
But did you notice anything missing?
No, he didn't. I'm pretty fucking confident he didn't steal anything. He just came over.
Just sounds like he stole something.
He came over, cooked some chips, cleaned my lounge room, and left. As far as I can tell, that's all that happened.
Sounds like he was a nice character.
Indeed.